Hi Bulldogs, welcome to Monday Math with the Michael Bus. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We are continuing to learn about measurement, and today you are going on an outdoor measurement scavenger hunt. And so I decided to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to take you on the scavenger hunt with me. So today you're going to be looking for 5 different items outside to measure. You're going to be looking for a leaf, a flower, a stick, a blade of grass, and a rock. And so as you can see, there's my front door. I am outside in my front yard and I am going to be looking for these things to measure so that I can show you what to do. Now, before you come outside, you are going to need a measuring tool. So my measuring tool that I brought today is this little bowl of pasta. It was just something that I had in my house. You can use beans, you can use different shapes of pasta. Just remember the rule that your tools have to be the same size or your measuring will not be accurate. Okay, we're also gonna go over some of the other rules while we're measuring. So I found my first item to measure. So I am going to measure this rock right here. Now, remember, when we're measuring, we want to lay our tools at the very start of the rock. So I'm gonna lay my first pasta shell right here. I'm gonna lay them to where they are touching each other. I wanna make sure there are no gaps. Oh, can I use this one? Nope, because that's not the same shape, it's broken. That measuring would not be accurate. So I'm gonna make sure my shells are touching each other. I'm gonna make sure that my shells are in a straight line. And I'm gonna go all the way to the end of my object. Now, I need to count how many shells I used to measure the rock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So now on my assignment, I'm gonna take a picture of that rock and my measuring tools that are laid next to it, and I'm gonna include a picture on the slideshows that my teacher can see. And then I'm gonna go to the next item. And oh, the next thing these are my new flowers that I just got from the store. When we are on our outdoor measuring hunt, we want to make sure that we are not harming the environment. So I'm not going to take this flower off of the stem to measure it. Now I'm lucky I picked a flower that has a very long stem. Look at my new flower I got from the nursery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay this flower down. Okay, sorry friends, I needed 2 hands to lay it down and measure. So now you're gonna notice that the tip of my flower is lined up with that first shell, but then that third shell is going a little bit over the flower. So when we're measuring with non-standard units, if it is using most of that third shell, then we're gonna count it as 3. Okay, so I've measured a rock and I've measured a flower, and so now I'm moving on to a stick. Now, I have a lot of sticks in my front yard because one of my trees likes to put off a lot of sticks. So I'm just gonna pick any stick that I want on the ground. And so I'm gonna pick this one up right here, and I'm actually going to move it to a much easier place for me to measure. I'm gonna go over here to the sidewalk. I have my stick on the sidewalk, and so I'm gonna start laying down my measuring tools. I'm starting at the beginning of my stick, and I'm going to measure my stick. Oops. Okay, so my stick is 4 shells long. Oh my goodness, I can hear you yelling at me through the video. This is not an accurate measurement because there are gaps between my pasta, my measuring tool. Remember, when I'm measuring, I want no gaps in my measuring. So my stick is not 4 shells. It is much more than 4 shells. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, this is what we were talking about a while ago with the flour. I only have a tiny piece of this stick left. If I tried to put a pasta shell right here to measure, the stick is shorter than most of this pasta shell. And so this one is not going to count because I'm not using most of the measuring tool. So I'm just going to leave this one off. And I'm gonna say that my stick is 7 pasta shells long. Okay, so like I said earlier, when you're outside and you're doing your measuring scavenger hunt, you do not wanna ruin your parents' beautiful plants, because if they're like Miss Michaelbus, they spend a lot of time trying to keep their plants alive. And so when I'm looking for a leaf, I don't wanna pick a leaf off of a plant, but I can look around the plant and I bet I could find a leaf that's fallen on the ground. And so I'm gonna turn it around because I did just that. Here are Miss Michaelbus' beautiful knockout roses. I just trimmed them like 2 days ago. But I don't wanna pull a leaf off, but if I look on the ground, I see a leaf right there that's already fallen off. So I'm not gonna just harm nature by pulling it off. I'm just gonna pick that one. So I got my leaf. And now I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to start at the very end of the leaf. And I'm going to put my shells in a straight line with no overlapping, making sure they're touching. And so my leaf is 1, 2, 3 shells long. Okay, now the last thing that I'm hunting for is a blade of grass. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. There are lots of blades of grass, so it's okay if you pick one blade of grass. So I'm gonna just pick one blade of grass. I picked a really long blade of grass because I wanted to use a lot of my measuring tools, and the wind is trying to blow my grass away. So I picked a pretty long blade of grass. You don't have to pick that long one, because I'm going to measure my grass as it blows away. I can already hear some of you are yelling at me through the screen because you see something that I am doing incorrectly. I am not putting my shells in a straight line, and they are overlapping, and so my measurement is not going to be accurate. Fantastic. So let me fix that. Let me put them touching right next to each other, making sure there are no gaps, making sure it is in a straight line, making sure it's from start to end. And just like we said earlier, there is a tiny bit of the grass that's extending, but it's not enough to get another shell because it won't be using enough of the shell. So my great blade of grass is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shells long. Okay, Bulldogs, that was our outdoor measurement scavenger hunt. I hope you had a great time walking around my front yard and measuring with me, and we cannot wait to see all of the amazing things that you find in your front or backyard and that you measure them. So you're going to upload your pictures in your Google slide assignment so that your teachers can see all of the amazing measurements that you're going to do. Happy Monday.